everyone, Samhita here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about ways by which you can attract your dream life and level up your life the way you want it to be leveled up. Let's get into it. The first one is your morning routine. Your day-to-day is what contributes to your success. The little things you do every day, your everyday steps that you take to keep healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, the tiny steps that you take that contribute to the big picture. So success isn't just a monumental event that happens suddenly out of the blue, like boom. It's about living a successful life, and that contributes to success. So living that day-to-day life, if you were successful, how you would live your life. If you're rich, or if you had everything that you needed and wanted, how would you lead your life? What would you do? How would you act on a day-to-day basis? That is something you can act and put into motion right now, today. You can live the way you would live if you were already where you want to be. So your morning routine sets the tone for your rest of the day, and it is very important to incorporate things that really cleanse your mind and body. Not just cleanse it, but also puts you in a really good space with yourself, puts you in the place to take in what life has to offer and to contribute in any way you can, the best way you can. That involves living a lifestyle that allows you to be your best self, and living a lifestyle that allows you to play on your strengths and your abilities and contribute to the world around you, to life, to people you love, everything. So you give what you get. Like what you give and put into life is what life is going to give you. So if you take your day-to-day seriously, the day-to-day steps that you put into action, the day-to-day things that you do for your fitness, for your health, for your mental health, for yourself, for your loved ones, for your surroundings, every little step counts. Every little step sets the tone for the kind of life you want to attract and live. So a morning routine really helps you make sure you prioritize things that you want to do. No matter what you have planned for the rest of the day, no matter what work you may have, a morning routine really helps you channel your best self and cultivate the kind of energy that you want to give out into the world. So keeping like 2 to 3 hours aside to prioritize your physical fitness, your supplement taking, your health, your mindset, and things that you want to cultivate mentally, and the energy you want to carry for the rest of the day, how you want to impact the people in your life that day, everything. Now, it's normal to have off days. It's normal to feel tired when you're probably PMSing, or you just had like some sort of big life change and you do not feel like your best self. That's okay. But day to day, what you put into your morning routine, even in those phases, can really shift like a slump or a low phase in your life and make it feel more positive and give you hope and a reassurance that your life is still beautiful and it's worth living, and whatever happens, you still have your routine to fall back on, yourself to fall back on, and everything that you believe to fall back on. And eventually, if you keep walking that path, things are going to get better. So if life is being a little difficult to deal with and your energy levels are low, it's okay to take a break from being on the go every day, to just spend the whole morning in bed. It's all right to give yourself those days, but also remember that getting back to that morning routine is really going to help you pick up the pieces, and you can always fall back on your morning routine to help you feel more put together and pick you up from whichever slump life has put you into, because let's face it, life is going to put you into a lot of slumps. It's going to be consistent with the slumps it puts you in. So falling back on your morning routine really tells yourself that no matter what happens, you're not giving up on you, and you still have your back, and whatever it is, you can face it together. You and yourself can face it together, and yeah, nothing can stop you from leveling up your life, and no adversity can stop you from, living your best life and prioritizing yourself and your well-being. And the day-to-day little things we do for ourselves in the morning can really change our mindset and narratives and re-establish our confidence in ourselves to get through something difficult. Even if you're going through a tough phase, prioritizing your morning routine can really help you feel like you've got this. It'll be fine. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna do your chores and prioritize your health and do your skincare and your yoga, no matter what happens. And that establishes dedication and discipline as well, which really helps you build that relationship of trust with yourself. So yeah, morning routines for the win. I'm sorry, the flash keeps turning off on my recording device. I haven't cracked the code as to how to fix that yet. I would use my ring light, but today we're just gonna deal with the way it is. Someday you're not gonna witness these videos being lit up and then the light going away, but hopefully I do not look too bad in either of those lightings. Moving on, the second point, which I kind of touched upon in the previous point as well, which is your internal dialogue and how you feel on the inside. Basically, mental rewiring is my second point. So a lot of your dream life comes from believing in it, and believing in you deserving it, and believing that it's, on its way, or it's already there. I've emphasized on this before. Our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. Our reality is a reflection of our thoughts and our beliefs. So if you constantly believe that something's not going to work out for you, chances are you're repelling your blessings by believing that you don't deserve them. You constantly are reinforcing that lack mindset, because sometimes you find this really scary. This is actually very scary. Like, it's easy to get into a lack mindset, especially if we grew up with an insecure attachment style, or there was always some or the other form of lack in our lives growing up, either from our parents or our primary attachment figures. If there was always something that wasn't meeting our needs, or something to put us in a place of insecurity with ourselves, it's common, it's normal, it's not something super sad. It is sad on one level, but honestly that can be shifted around by just ourselves, that we can change our whole lives and our reality and the way we perceive things. So yeah, you deserve compassion for that part of you that felt lack in those areas, but also you are not doomed and destined to have lack in those areas for the rest of your life just because life set that pattern initially somewhere in your growing years. No, you are capable of filling every single area that you felt lack in by yourself. Nobody's gonna come around and prove that to you. Nobody's gonna come around, and if you wait for people to come around and show you that, hey, guess what, you don't need to have lack in this area because I'm gonna pour into it, that's kind of unrealistic, because people are not gonna pour into a cup that has a hole in the bottom. If you're so accustomed to feeling lack in certain areas, even if you have blessings in those areas, you will not know how to accept them. You will not know how to celebrate them, embody them, and live the life that includes you not having that lack, because you're so accustomed to being comfortable in that lack mindset. Your whole personality and your whole being is like cultivated and structured around how to live with that lack and how to react to that lack. So much so that you don't know how you would behave and how you'd be, and what that means for your self-concept and your identity if that lack was non-existent. So it's scary what we do to repel the blessings we claim to want, but we don't accept on a deep level because it does not match what we're used to. I would say visualize how you would accept blessings that disproves all the areas you feel like a long-standing lack in. Wire your mind to be accepting of abundance, accepting of the things that you claim to want to the world, to yourself, but you yourself are restricting. Often we get in our own way. Things like astrology, we're like, oh, I don't want to believe in it solely because I wanted XYZ, and according to my astrological chart I'm supposed to get XYZ, but it didn't come to me, so like astrology is wrong. No, astrology is a guideline. It tells you what energies are in your life and what you're capable of receiving, but it's a mixture of destiny and free will. If you don't put in the work to tell the universe, hey, I'm ready to receive the blessings that are waiting to be given to me, if you're operating in a place of like rejecting everything that's coming your way and deciding that, okay, I'm more comfortable in my lack, your blessings are not going to make their way to you. So you cannot just expect blessings to be there just because your astrological chart says so, and then do nothing to deserve those blessings, doing nothing to accept those blessings. If you put a magnified focus on the negatives grow. If you put a magnified focus on the positives grow. You always have free will. Your birth chart also can tell you what all is possible, but what are you doing to accept it? Or what are you doing to reject it? Because blessings are ready to be given to you. Your astrological chart says that, hey, you have the capacity to be XYZ. But if you're not allowing that to happen, if you're not putting in the work, the effort, the need for mental rewiring to shift from the normal human tendency of focusing on the negatives to trying to rewire that mentality to being more positive and being more receptive to blessings that may be waiting to be showered upon you, then you cannot blame astrology for not working out in your favor, darling. You need to know that you have a say, you have a choice. You always have a choice. I've said this before, man is made by belief. As he believes, so he is. Everything that we fear, we attract. Everything that we feverishly want, we repel. Because when you're chasing after something like, I want this, I want to be rich, I want to be rich, I want to be rich, I want this, I want this, I want that, it's basically telling the universe that you don't have it and you're lacking it. and you're reinforcing that lack because you're coming from a place of wanting it but not having it. But when you deploy gratitude for what you do have, when you deploy contentment, when you're like, oh my god, this is what I do have, and I believe that I'm going to get even more, and I'm going to have even more. I'm so grateful that I have the capacity to attract more. I'm so grateful that the universe is waiting to give to me. I'm so grateful that everything that I may want gets fulfilled for me. So if you look at having a desire as something that's going to be fulfilled by the universe because you trust it so much, or you are just like, oh, this is easy, all I need to do is believe that I have it and operate on that frequency. If I operate on the frequency of that desire being fulfilled, I'm more in tune to attracting that desire becoming a reality. If I'm operating on a negative frequency and expecting positive results, that's not going to happen. Like attracts like. So if you want positive results, you have to operate on that positive frequency. You have to believe that you have what you want already. You have to behave like you already have what you want. That will cultivate that reality in the outside world, and you will feel very content, feeling like that desire that once used to be so feverish is fulfilled. You already have it. There's nothing to chase. So it's a skill to master attracting abundance, attracting all of our desires and their fulfillment. And it's a skill to shift from having a negative focus, a negative mindset, a pessimistic outlook, to a more positive outlook, to a more optimistic outlook that allows us to be more receptive to blessings that are waiting to be given to us. It allows us to seize opportunities that are in line with our dream life and our desires and make us feel more fulfilled. Okay, I just realized my camera was tilting to upwards. I'm sorry about that. Moving on to the third point, how you face adversities. Now, this is something that I'm still mastering because it's really easy to let adversities get you down. Like I said, life is always going to throw you curveballs. It's always going to throw you like some stuff to deal with. But how you deal with them really, really helps you stay on track with not letting it get you down, not letting it, deviate you from your path and from your desires. And everything that is meant for you will still be meant for you. It'll still make its way to you. It's just about how to not delay, things from becoming okay again, because it's very easy to let adversities get you down and get into a slump, and it's okay for you to take some time to feel the pain, and most often that pain really helps us learn a lot, whatever it is. It might be rejection, might be failure in any area of life, but it's okay to feel that pain, to let it get you down, to like focus on fixing your mental health for a bit. But it's up to you how quickly you want to bounce back from it and how you want to rewire the whole thing again, because adversities are always something that you can still keep your faith in what's meant for you strong and still go through them knowing that there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not just like random light, it's the light I want. It's like blue, purple, orange, yellow, whatever light you want in your life, rainbow light for all you know, like whatever light you want at the end of that tunnel is basically what's going to be given to you. So how you deal with adversities, if you let adversities get you down to reconfirm your negative beliefs and your fears, and if you say, see, I knew it, I knew that this is what's going to happen to me, I knew I was going to get rejected, I knew I was going to get like this, that, if you're negative about it and if you let it get you down, it's just going to keep you in that place for a really long time, and it's really hard to come back up from that because you're allowing that situation or that life incident to defeat you and to again put you in a state of a lack mindset, or like your fears being confirmed, or your self-fulfilling prophecies about everything that's negative in your life to be repeated as a pattern. So what you can do is you can recognize like, okay, in fact, this does align with a lot of the fears I have or used to have. This is something that I'm afraid of. This is something that, that shakes me to my core. That is something that I don't want from life, and it's being given to me. But what can I do now? How do I not let this get me down? It's basically what I said in point 2. Yeah, thinking positively, thinking that, it's okay, I'm still gonna get what I want, I'm still gonna operate on that frequency. Even if reality externally is not mirroring your desires and your wishes and the life you want to live and what you need, Delulu is the Solulu when it comes to this. Of course, you need to accept when it's time to let things go. Of course, you need to deep dive and think if you really want to hold on to something that has probably no more space in your life, or if you've outgrown it. Of course, there are things that are painful to let go, but you have to let go. That is there. But if something is not coming to you and you really do want it and you really feel like you're in alignment with it, and maybe you're not in alignment with it right now, but it is something that you see being in alignment with as important to you, then nothing should stop you from believing that it's going to come back to you. Like they say, if you love something, let it go. If it's meant for you, it's going to come back. Yes, but also you have a hand in determining whether it's meant for you or not, and you also have a hand in attracting it back to you if it's left you. Having said that, I'm not saying that you have to be delusional to the point where you have to stop your progress or growth, or be in a place of stagnation just because you're feverish about a desire. Again, if you're feverish about something and it's not meant for you, the universe will show you signs. But if you're sure that you can feel it in your gut, and how you feel in your gut also changes from time to time. When you're not ready for something, you feel like, okay, this is not aligning with what I need right now, but give it time and you might feel differently. So it depends. But when I'm talking about adversities, and when you're dealing in the thick middle of something being taken away from you, or something not aligning with what you want, and it's giving you a lot of distress, or it's making you feel feelings of rejection, abandonment, whatever it is, all you need to believe is that that's not reality. Right now, I'm fulfilled, I'm content, I'm happy. Everything I want is going to come to me, and it is already there. I'm just going to take a break from it for now, and it's going to come back. If you let adversities reconfirm your negative beliefs and reconfirm the fact that, see, I knew, if you let them reconfirm things that become a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, like, see, I knew this is going to happen, I knew this person was going to abandon me, I knew this was going to suck. The more you do that, the more that reality just keeps getting recreated, and you're just attracting that reality again into your life, and life will keep bringing that reality to you until you realize that it's not about that reality, it's about what you're attracting. And also, you need to realize that there's a lot of learning to do from adversities, because yes, you can shift the narrative and you can choose. It's in your hands how long you want to deal with an adversity, and how long you want to be in the space of being a victim of that adversity, and how long you want to take before you bounce back into taking control of your life again, and attracting the better again. But you will see patterns being repeated. If people are constantly belittling you or putting you down, or you're always in situations where your self-worth is questioned, your insecurities are triggered, life is pointing to those insecurities, and life is asking you hey, I think you need to learn how to root your self-esteem and confidence in a place beyond that layer of insecurities, so that no matter how many times people you love or people you care about hit those insecurities, it's not going to affect you. You're not going to view them as sources for pain. You're not going to view them as sources to reconfirm your negative beliefs. You're going to view them as people who challenge you to help you deal with your insecurities more healthily, and you're going to always be not affected by things that people say, and you're going to be more in tune with who means well for you and who is energetically right for you and good for you. And of course, I'm not saying put up with disrespect and put up with people who say negative things to you. That's not what I'm saying. But if you are repeatedly being put in situations where you need to confront your insecurities and you run away from that, you don't learn your lesson, life is going to keep putting those instances in your life again. Life is going to keep putting those situations in front of you again, where you have to deal with people hitting that insecurity wound again and again, hitting that place where your self-concept is not, breached into. Your self-concept, self-esteem needs to overpower everything. And if you're not confident in certain things, and your confidence only is reserved to okay, I'm confident as long as I'm seen this way, as long as those insecurities are not brought up, I'm confident in these areas. No, confidence needs to permeate your entire existence. Those lessons that life is trying to teach you, and once you introspect and realize that, okay, this is not about other people or what they're putting me through or me being a victim of those circumstances, but it's about life putting me in these situations to teach me something. And once you learn it, you will automatically realize that those situations that you wanted to run away from, those situations that made you feel uncomfortable, do not happen. It's not like they happen and then they don't have a hold over you. No, they don't happen anymore. The thing that feels really unpleasant and icky to you, if you master how to deal with that adversity, if you master how to deal with that, they just don't happen anymore. So introspect, see why something keeps repeating in your life. Dig deeper into what something makes you feel. Ask yourself questions. Okay, what does this make me feel? Whenever you're in the middle of a negative emotion as a result of someone else's words or actions, question why that is. Okay, this obviously it feels bad. It's valid for it to feel bad. Yeah, of course it feels bad. What part of me does this trigger? Is that part of me being defined in any way or redefined in any way? Does that part of me need healing? Does that part of me need my acceptance? Does that part of me need me to rewire anything? Does that part of me even deserve to be there anymore? If we stop blaming the world around us and the people in our lives, even though, yeah, they may deserve the blame for making you feel a certain way, but you cannot focus on the blame game if you want to grow. What you need to do is control what you can control, which is your growth, your accountability, you taking responsibility to shift a narrative. So this is where shifting the narrative during adversities especially, and adversities can mean anything. It can mean conflict, it can mean failure, it can mean rejection, it can mean loss, whatever it is. How you see it really dictates how you move on from it and how you grow from it. Of course, you can let it get you down, but do you want to be in that space of rock bottom forever? Is it even possible for you to be there? No. Sometimes people are there, and the rest of their life they live from that place of a rock bottom. You don't want that. That's not what we're here for. I know these points have been a little elaborate, but the next 2 points are going to be a little more concise. Point number 4, educate yourself. No, I mean it. Constantly. Outside of the degree you've studied, outside of the things you already know. Talk to people about different things. Ask questions about areas of life that you are not really that well versed in. I'm more of an art student. I'm more into literature, psychology, dance, movement, spirituality. But when it comes to science, I do know stuff, but I'm not that well versed in science. So I have a lot of friends who are science students who have such in-depth understanding of, I don't know, the laws of motion or like frequency of different colors and lights and from a scientific perspective, point of view. And often you'll find that science and art are like intertwined in such beautiful ways, and it's such a thrilling experience to discover those moments of, intermingling when they do intermingle in your life and in the world around you, and you recognize that, realize that, take time to discuss that. It's beautiful. Einstein always had like a very integrated idea about art and science, and about how art, science, spirituality all came from the same source, all contributed to one another, and all exist because of each other. So yeah, that's just an example, but educate yourself about areas of study that you're not well versed in. Talk to people who are more well versed in those areas. Watch podcasts, watch videos, watch documentaries. Take your time to up your knowledge base. It's going to come in handy, and not just come in handy. When we learn, our minds expand, our energies expand. The process of teaching and learning, imparting wisdom, knowledge is something that energetically contributes to you, that ups your prana, that ups your energy. So when you learn something new, your body and mind, your energy, your aura literally expands. And that is something we want in our life. We want that expansion. People, educate yourself constantly. Keep cultivating curiosity. Keep doing things that make you that much more skilled, that much more knowledgeable about something than you were the previous day or the previous hour. Just constantly keep upgrading your skills in any way you can. Upgrade your knowledge base, and it'll definitely come in handy, and you never know who might need it. You will learn something today that you might never apply in your life, but 3 months from now someone might have a requirement for the knowledge that you gained, and you will be able to impart that knowledge, and you will be able to give them that knowledge because you consume that knowledge. Think from a broader perspective. Knowledge expands you. Knowledge allows you to give, impart. The process of teaching and learning always expands your energy, always gives to you in a way beyond your understanding. So don't just think about like what's relevant to you and what you want to learn. No, expand your mind and allow yourself to get curious and excited about things that don't concern you, that might not be relevant to your life. Don't just stick to things that interest you. Get curious, get interested in things that interest other people, things that are of importance to other people. You never know who that might help. You never know what that might do for you yourself. So be open to knowledge. Expand your mind. Expand your curiosities. You might come across someone who's studying for a test, an 18-year-old girl. It's a finance test. Finance is not your forte. But like you might be able to tell her something she needs to know before she walks into that test. You never know who you might help with knowledge. Knowledge is always something that's as important as energy and money, because you can give it, you can impart it. Even when it comes to expanding your knowledge base, think beyond yourself, think beyond your life, think bigger, think about people, think about the world. So yeah, it's really going to help you in every possible way. It's going to upgrade your life for you. It's really going to help you attract the kind of life that you want. You never know the possibilities that are in the unknown. And I'm not just talking about the unknown as in life beyond death. No, I'm talking about the unknown to us. You never know what you might discover, what might come in handy. So always keep upping your knowledge base. Broaden your vision, horizons, your insights. Coming to my 5th and final point, in order to be able to do 1, 2, 3, and 4, what do you need? You need energy. Now, even if life is getting you down, even if something is draining the bejesus out of you, so strong or not swearing on camera, even if something is draining the bejesus out of you, what can you do? What can you do that needn't require you to depend on anybody else but yourself to replenish your energy? Spiritual practice. Having a spiritual practice gives you the energy to do anything you want to do, to get out of a slump. And sometimes you will be in a slump for days on end, even if you have a spiritual practice, which goes to show that if you didn't have that spiritual practice, that slump would have been far worse than it was. So keeping consistent with your spiritual practice allows you to cultivate the energy to be able to do these things, to be able to put your intentions and your energy in the right place, to be able to put your thoughts in order. And often there might be a source in our lives that used to be a source of energy but then turns into a source to drain us. If we make people our sources for energy, it's a short way to like fail and put a lot of burden on that friendship or relationship. As much as you can confide in these people and they can be sources of love for you to feel supported and feel better, it's always best to rely on yourself, especially in the unlikely or likely event that none of them are available for you to help you replenish and get out of your low prana slump. What helps is a spiritual practice: meditation, pranayama, breath work, yoga. These things fill your cup so you're able to pour into yourself and the world around you. So these were 5 ways by which you can upgrade your life and live your best life and attract your best life. I forgot what the title was, but attract your best life. Attract your dream life, sorry. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell icon so we can stay connected, etc., etc. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye. I have a pimple because my dumbass didn't hydrate this week enough. I did not hydrate. Need to hydrate more. See what happens if you don't hydrate. Please hydrate. Drink water. I love you.